Hello and welcome back. The goal of this video is to show beginners how to use a Jupyter notebook. But even if you're not a beginner, you may also find interesting to watch this video, as you will possibly learn some new shortcuts that will make your life a lot easier. So let's start by going to the font platform, and you may have noticed that there's a red button here. If you click on it, it will take you to the full screen mode. Here you will have a nice display of a Jupyter notebook, but if you prefer working in the font platform display, you can always go back there. But for this video, we will work in the full screen mode. Okay, so this is the very first notebook that you encounter during the course, and this is the very first cell of code that you have to run, and you probably did it so by clicking on this run button over here. And you may have noticed that a number 1 appeared here. It's called the execution number, and it will help you keeping track of the order in which you executed the different cells in your code. Another possibility was going to the cell menu and then clicking on run cells, but here you may notice that it says Ctrl Enter, meaning that this shortcut of pressing Ctrl, hold it, and then Enter, it will make you execute the cell, the currently selected cell. Another quite similar option is to press Shift Enter at the same time, and it will do pretty much the same, except that it will take you to the line below the selected cell. So let's see how this works in practice. If I press Ctrl and Enter, you will notice that the execution number is going up without changing the cell. And if I press Shift Enter, it will do the same. It will run the cell, but it will take me to the cell that is right below. Another thing to notice is that whenever I click outside a cell of code, it will have a blue line, and if I click inside, the line will get green, meaning that the green line, it means that we are in the code mode where you can actually write some code. But if you press escape, you will enter the command mode where you can actually enter the different commands that we are about to see. And if you want to go back to the edit mode, you just press enter or escape to go back and forth. Okay, so in the command mode, I can press the A key in my keyboard to add a cell above the selected cell, and similarly, if I press B from below, I will add a new cell of code just below the previously selected cell. But maybe I don't want this new cell and I want to erase it, so still in the command mode, I can press 2 times the D button and DD, and it gets erased. But maybe I'm having second thoughts and I want this cell back, so I just have to undo the erasing of the previous cell. So I will just press Z in the keyboard and there it is. You can always move with the arrows and press and hold Shift to select several of them. Maybe I want to erase them, so I will press once again double D, but I have second thoughts, so let's press Z. Alright, now I made a mistake, and now this line of text is above the code that I had above before, so there's no problem because I can press X to cut it and V to paste it in the correct place. So another thing that you can do is if you press M in the markdown mode and then enter to enter the edit mode, you can use or create a markdown cell where you can have the markdown formatting, and then you just click, for instance, press Shift Enter, and you will render this cell that it's going to be treated as text, not as code. But if you go back to the command mode and you maybe want this to be regarded as code, so you press the Y button, and it's once again treated as if it was code. You see? If you find it hard to keep track of all these options, just remember it's pretty much as elsewhere. X, Y, and Z is for cut. No, sorry. X is cut, V is paste, C is copy, Z is undo. A and B are for adding cells above and below. M and Y is for markdown and code cells. But the one best thing to keep in your mind these different shortcuts is to go to the command mode and just press H from help, and you will see all of the shortcuts that I already mentioned and even some more. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you learn a lot and see you next time.